Gentlemen, I need your full attention, because what I'm about to share isn't just important. It may very well challenge much of what you've been told about aging, energy, and the quiet biological shifts occurring inside your body long before symptoms appear. If you're over 55, 60, or even 70, and you've done your part, cleaner eating, healthier cooking oils, maybe even supplements, but something still feels off, especially in the mornings. If your energy is low, responsiveness is delayed, or your strength isn't what it once was, then it's time we had a straight, evidence-based conversation. But before we go deeper, I encourage you to subscribe to our community here. My work, backed by over 2 decades in clinical medicine and integrative physiology, is dedicated to helping men restore confidence, ignite cellular health, and understand the science behind true hormonal and vascular resilience. I'm Dr. Samra. My mission is simple: to reclaim male vitality through a uniquely scientific, medically sound lens, free from hype and grounded in results. So, before I begin creating the next series of videos, I need your input. Tell me what you want to learn more about. Are you struggling with getting erections, or do they not last as long as you'd like? Are you dealing with low sex drive, low testosterone, or concerns about your size? This channel is dedicated entirely to your health, so your feedback is essential. Please comment your age, your weight, your country, and the specific topic you want me to make videos on. Your health, confidence, and improvement are my priority, and your responses will guide the content I create for you. Now, let's revisit a question I ask many of my clients, one that's often uncomfortable but vital to ask. When was the last time you woke up feeling truly alive? Not just mentally prepared for the day, but biologically charged. I'm referring to that natural, effortless morning signal, one that for decades you might have taken for granted. That signal isn't just about intimacy, it's an important physiological indicator of healthy blood flow, responsive vascular function, and optimal communication between your hormones and nervous system. It's one of the earliest signs that the circulatory system is functioning in harmony. But for many men, especially those past midlife, this signal begins to fade, quietly, gently, often unnoticed, until one morning, it's simply not there. And you start to wonder if maybe this is just part of getting older. You tell yourself it's probably just stress, or poor sleep, or busy days, but deep down you sense something is biologically shifting. And here's where the real disconnect happens. Intimacy turns from a source of joy into uncertainty, not for lack of motivation, not because you don't care, but because your body hesitates. And what was once second nature becomes laced with self-doubt. You see, what most men, and even many physicians, fail to recognize is that the first visible impact of aging in men doesn't begin with muscle or even testosterone. It begins at the level of blood flow, specifically in the microvasculature, the smallest arteries responsible for oxygen delivery throughout your body. You can't feel it happening. You don't see it in the mirror. But deep inside, the highways carrying blood, nutrients, and signaling molecules slowly begin to lose flexibility. We call this endothelial dysfunction, and it's a clinical hallmark of vascular aging. The result? Performance begins to decline long before desire disappears. And that is perhaps the cruelest part. It leaves many men emotionally hurt because the drive is still there, but the body no longer listens. But here's the good news. Science has confirmed that blood flow is one of the most modifiable systems in the male body. Your arteries, if given the right signals and nourishment, can regain flexibility and function, even well into your 70s or beyond. Yet, to do that, you need to understand what's really happening inside your vascular system. Let's start with a truth that surprises most men I consult. Your ability to function physically, sexually, energetically relies more on blood flow than testosterone alone. Yes, testosterone plays a role in libido, muscle mass, motivation, but the moment-to-moment performance, stamina, reaction, and recovery are all governed by vascular tone and the bioavailability of nitric oxide. Let's break that down. Your circulatory system is controlled by the endothelium, a delicate layer lining the inside of your blood vessels. When you're young, this lining is supple. Arteries expand in milliseconds, blood flows powerfully, and your signals fire immediately because there's no friction or resistance. But after years of inflammatory inputs, poor sleep, sugar spikes, stress, oxidative damage, and simply time, the endothelium becomes stiff, less responsive, and eventually dysfunctional. At this point, even a great diet and ideal testosterone levels may not help. Why? Because if your arteries can't open, if nitric oxide signaling is impaired, then cellular performance cannot take place. No signal, no response. So it's vital to see this not as a motivation issue or a mental block, but as a circulation problem rooted in physiology. Now let me address a major point of confusion: olive oil. Olive oil is often hailed as a heart-healthy superfood, and indeed it is. Extra virgin olive oil is anti-inflammatory, rich in antioxidant polyphenols, and promotes long-term vascular health. But here's where nuance matters. Olive oil nourishes and protects the arteries over time, but it does not stimulate nitric oxide production or rapidly improve endothelial function on its own, especially in older men. The microvessels need activation. Olive oil, while supportive, does not provide the physiological signal to improve circulation short term, and this leads to frustration. Men following Mediterranean-style diets say, "I eat clean, my cholesterol improved, but I still don't feel stronger or more alive." That's because while olive oil supports vessel health, it doesn't trigger the vascular response needed to wake up circulation. That's where the missing ingredient comes in, a compound too often overlooked in modern men's health: vinegar. No, this isn't pseudoscience. We now have growing evidence from multiple peer-reviewed studies that vinegar, particularly apple cider vinegar and red wine vinegar, can play a functional role in supporting vascular responsiveness. Why? The key lies in the primary active compound, acetic acid. Acetic acid supports your cardiovascular system in 5 major ways, clinically documented. It helps activate the nitric oxide pathway, encouraging vessels to dilate, particularly in the microvascular network. It reduces post-meal glucose spikes, which are strongly correlated with endothelial damage and inflammation in older adults. It promotes a healthier gut microbiome, which modulates systemic inflammation and vascular tone. It supports the reduction of visceral abdominal fat, improving hormone sensitivity, and reducing cytokine-driven damage from the inside. It enhances overall circulation by making your arteries more responsive over time. Now here's where the synergy becomes powerful. Vinegar provides the activation, the spark, while olive oil offers the support and shield. Together, these two ancient natural ingredients, used together traditionally in Mediterranean cultures, though not consciously for this purpose, form a combination that supports nitric oxide production, protects the delicate endothelium from oxidative damage, improves absorption of antioxidants, and facilitates smoother nutrient delivery throughout the body. The result? Gradual, noticeable shifts in how your body feels and functions. Men often describe it with phrases like, "Everything feels like it's working again." "There's warmth in my hands and feet for the first time in years." "My mornings feel different. My energy is no longer fading halfway through the day." This isn't a magic pill, it's not a cure, and it should never be a substitute for proper medical care. But when paired with consistent, healthy lifestyle practices, vinegar and olive oil become a powerful foundation for circulation support, backed by human physiology, not hype. Let me give you the practical protocol based on clinical feedback and metabolic science. First, timing matters. Begin with vinegar before meals, particularly your 2 largest meals of the day. Roughly 10 to 15 minutes before eating, stir 1 to 2 teaspoons of apple cider or red wine vinegar into a glass of water. Sip slowly. This helps prime nitric oxide signaling and improves postprandial blood glucose response. Next, combine olive oil with vinegar during your meals. At least once daily, ideally in the evening, drizzle 2 tablespoons of high-quality, cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil with 1 to 2 teaspoons of vinegar over greens, vegetables, or lean proteins. Pair this with nitrate-rich foods, leafy greens, tomatoes, onions, avocado, fresh herbs. Not only does this enhance absorption, but it builds a strong vascular environment inside your body. Here's what to avoid. Don't take vinegar on an empty stomach if you're acidic or suffer from reflux. Don't use low-grade oils. Don't expect overnight miracles. And don't treat this as a replacement for medications if you're on treatment. Transformation takes consistency, but results are typically felt within 3 to 6 weeks. To every man over 60 listening to this, you are not fading because you're too old. You haven't lost vitality because your masculinity has disappeared. You're not broken. You're experiencing a biological shift that science now understands, and one that you can engage with, support, and even enhance through intentional, consistent choices that honor how your body still wants to respond. Vitality isn't lost, it's dormant, waiting for oxygen, waiting for vascular responsiveness, waiting for you to take the wheel again. This channel was created so that you never have to face those changes alone. Let me be a trusted voice in this next phase of your journey. If you're with me on this, comment below, "I'm ready." Hit subscribe for more science-backed tools to restore your energy and performance. Share this with a friend, a brother, a colleague, someone who needs to feel like himself again. I'm Dr. Samra, and I'll see you in the next episode.